here has ruptured at some point in time, and so what you've got there is sort of a healed bulla fluid-filled sac that's sitting there, and behind it, the brown that you can actually see is a sheet of the iris that's formed kind of in a response to the rupture, unfortunately. So that eye we'll never see again. It's comfortable, more than likely. It's not a painful condition right now, but it's not anything that's going to be salvageable. The left eye appears bigger to me than what it should be for this sort of size of dog, and so my worry would be is that there has been glaucoma at some point in time. Whether it's active or not is difficult to say, because what's happened is the cornea is complete granulation tissue, meaning all those blood vessels have grown in. And so as a result of that, we can't measure with our device the pressure because we're measuring against abnormal tissue. Does that make sense?
So it's basically grown over the front.
Yeah, you just put blood vessels.
She can't see anything right now.
She can't see anything out of either eye, and I think prognostically being is that she'll probably never be visual.
Do they need to be removed?
So, I think the right eye is something that probably doesn't definitively need to be removed right now. The left eye is more than likely the eye that would probably look at being removed because it's overexposed, right? It's like this the whole time.
Right.
It's horribly inflamed.
And obviously infection in there.
The biggest thing, though, is I think because of her, like we were speaking out there, I would just worry about what other diseases she might have concurrently, and I wouldn't rush into getting her to surgery.
Right. Like heartworm or any kind of
you want to make sure
tick-borne
she doesn't have heartworm or
diseases.
tick-borne diseases. I mean, I think
Look at the ticks on this dog.
Yeah, I mean, she'd have to be on doxycycline for
30 days
30
at least.
days at least, and make sure she doesn't have heartworm disease, any other systemic ailments.
How old do you think she is?
Oh my gosh! Unfortunately, the way we tell by eyes
Is teeth.
is through the lens, and then I'll be honest, through teeth. She's not that old.
She's not that old.
Oh, God.
She's a baby. Couple, 2, 3 years maybe?
I don't do teeth a lot, right?
That's what I can tell by the tartar. That's how they tell.
Yeah.
With especially the life that she's had.
Do you think the eye was trauma or damage?
I think I worry about the eye just because of the number of ticks on there. I always worry about tick-borne disease, and so they get this inflammation inside the eye called uveitis, and then the uveitis causes a bunch of protein inside the eye that then builds up with glaucoma. Then they get irritated and wrong. Yeah.
Which came first?
Which came first? That's a big question now. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, the great thing is
She's not in pain.
Well, I worry a little bit about the left eye being irritated. I would definitely start her on a topical antimicrobial medication, ofloxacin, neopolygram, something like that. It was not wrong to start her on Cosopt as a glaucoma medication just because the eye is ophthalmic and we're not able to measure a very good price. It feels firmer than it should, the eye, but it's also very scarred and inflamed. But just to make sure. But again, addressing the ocular support unit is probably a little bit more important at this point in time, just to figure out what other things are ailing her before we move ahead with anything related to her eyes. But again, not to sound overly optimistic, but blind dogs do amazing, right? So as long as she's otherwise fine, you get her in the right home and she'll do amazing. But the bigger question is what else is currently affecting her.
She's trying to look at us.
You're safe now.
So pretty, Francis.
You're safe now. You are.
You're so pretty.
You're safe.
Poor
You're
thing.
going to have a great.
Yeah, did you see how they left her chained up?
I didn't see the chain up
The
part.
chain with padlocks in Little Haiti. We got tagged in this picture. We were in Key Biscayne trying to rescue a Maltese in the woods with a trap. Ran over there. In the midst of that, we pulled off 95, and there was a little dog, emaciated, that we grabbed. And then here we came and found her, and we literally had to rip